What's a modern-day poison people willingly ingest?
Personally, I'm horrendously addicted to nicotine and it's probably killing me.
Those talking videos with like 3 things happening on the screen media is already absolutely atrocious for attention span. Using that many distractions on a 30s clip just exponentially enhances the people that wanted an example. In case any check back in, here's a parody on that trend being used in this video.
Facebook edit. Facebook, Instagram, etc. Any social media where you're comparing your life against other people's lives.
Those shorts videos that now are almost in every platform. If you have problems with focus and getting done, then you know that if you keep watching them you might end up in the next day without even realizing you haven't done anything yet.
24-hour news cycle.
Outrage. It's straight up poison to your mental health, but we thrive on it, yearn for it. Places like TikTok, Twitter, and our public freakout pass it out like dealers for little more than some attention, poisoning people to feel popular. Worse, it's useful to those in control, so there's no escaping it. Political parties and activists need you outraged, one-tracked, immune to real empathy, and motivated to solidify their power, so here we are.
I'm gonna say vaping. I knocked it on the head as my New Year's resolution. First time I've been completely nicotine-free, and still going strong, but I genuinely felt like I was about to cough my lungs up about 90% of the time vaping. If I have to be honest, I don't miss either, but I started vaping to stop smoking. I hate seeing young kids and teens do it, ones who wouldn't have even considered I'm talking disposable vapes, should have clarified that beforehand.
Social media.
This. Energy drinks.
Work 5 to 6 days a week and having no life.
Processed sugars. Soda. I used to drink it a lot. I had terrible health issues and sleep issues. I cut it all out. Been maybe 2 years without it. I feel better, I'm sick less, I sleep better, and I function better overall. Just replace it with water. If you live in the Western world, you most likely have clean drinking water being pumped to your house. I don't believe on banning something because I don't like it, but I do think that is poison. It's also super addictive. The first couple weeks I cut soda out was rough. Then we give this to kids and it screws up there. I've never had a comment get this kind of attention. Quickly going through the replies, I want to say congratulations to everyone who kicked the habit or other ones like smoking. Second, there are absolutely people not affected by it. If you drink it in moderation, it's not too bad. I admit I was really bad with. Main concern with it is that there's nothing good about Coke or Pepsi. It's just sugar, caffeine, and addictive ingredients. That's why I use the term poison. It only has negative effects with it. Now that being said, if you enjoy soda, then go for it. It's your life. If you can do it in moderation, even better. The thing is, we market it so hard to kids and many parents just let them overindulge. Again, not all, but a good chunk. My parents let me have way too much. Also, all my stuff is anecdotal. I'm not a doctor, but every doctor I had when I was younger would tell me I need to stop drinking it. I would tell them I would, and then not, because I was young. It caught up to me though. If you're young now and pounding back several cans a day, then it's probably going to hurt you too. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and every one of my friends who was like me was in the same boat with the health issues. If you can keep it in moderation, then great, but watch how much you drink.
This will get buried, but, as a man, I'm just really wanting to know, when can we talk about the dangers of poppers? Poppers is like the LGBTQ equivalent of. I'm not talking about the effect or intake method. I'm talking about how nobody ever wants to even consider the possibility that it could be doing harm to your body, and especially your heart. Poppers used to be used to treat angina. They actively speed up your heart and cause an arrhythmia, especially if you are mixing it with. It mimics effects like taking an upper and a downer at the same time. And because the effect of popper only lasts about a minute, most guys need to take them repeatedly to make the feeling last. It's completely normal for some guys to mix poppers with tea, etc. Lots of guys are so addicted that they literally cannot have without it. I get so turned off when I have a hookup with a guy and he can't go 30 seconds without huffing poppers. It's such a stop-and-go activity that it's honestly annoying, and I hate that you can buy a bottle here in Chicago for $15. There are even bars with popper vending machines. please stop using that. I could make the same argument for those compressed sprays that people mix with poppers like Maximum Impact or Alas. Nobody will listen to me.
Sips coffee, takes bong hit, doom scrolls Reddit. I can't think of any edit. My favorite thing about this is the legions of people defending coffee and literally nobody defending Reddit.
Alcohol.
Social media. That high fructose corn syrup.
Alcohol and nicotine.
Today is ridiculously strong compared to the of my parents' generation. I know too many people my age who smoke it constantly don't understand what it'll do to a developing brain.
Microplastics.
Bret Michaels. An excess of almost anything overly processed. Most people consume too much meat, too much sugar, too much salt, too much saturated too much caffeine, too many nitrates, etc., etc. I try to eat relatively healthy, but even I definitely consume too much sugar and too much caffeine. It's so hard to stop once you're used to it. Modern processed foods are pretty addictive, and I'm aware that not all types of processing are inherently bad. This is not a scientific forum, it's an askreddit thread, and I'm sure most people know exactly which kind of processing I mean by that.
TikTok.
Toxin, one of the most poisonous biological substances known.
I don't subscribe to anybody that does that sort of but the first time I saw a video that was meant to be informative, with Minecraft parkour in the background on the top half, and funny cat memes on the bottom half, I realized we've reached internet can't go any lower. We've reached internet rock bottom. I hope, edit. I forgot people will see this as a challenge. We are doomed.
One creator I watch on YouTube has basically said, I have to resort to making these shorts or I'll disappear, as it's crappy that these platforms are forcing it on everyone involved.
Proper ADHD traps those.
My grandparents. All day every day. It pains me to see.
I no longer watch or read any news. I've had people tell me I'm ignorant because of it, fair enough. But constantly hearing about politics, who's been murdered, where a bomb or natural disaster has killed thousands of innocent people, how the economy is, etc. on a loop just ruined my mental health and self-esteem. It takes me 45 minutes to drive to work, and I used to listen to the news that whole time. By the time I got to work, my day and mood would be ruined by 9 a.m. Of course horrible things are going on in the world, but I'm one person. It sounds ignorant, but there's not much I can do to change things. Yes, of course every voice counts, but again I'm just one person. Now that I'm no longer hearing constant negativity and how the world is I realize that life is honestly quite alright. Nothing's perfect, but I'm so much happier now. Negativity gets clicks, listens more than positivity does, and news channels capitalize on this and give people the worst, most sensationalized news possible to keep them listening.
I avoided scrolling through Reddit's popular feed for years because it was so full of outrage subs like, public freakout, idiots in cars, I am a total piece of shit, etc. I don't want that negativity in my. They added support for blacklisting subs. I immediately added those.
I read 1984 a few weeks ago, and the description of the 2 minutes hate honestly kind of scared me once I understood it. For context, it is a daily ceremony where all people gather around a TV-like device and watch a government propaganda broadcast focused on brewing horrible thing about the 2 minutes hate was not that one was obliged to act a part, but, on the contrary, that it was impossible to avoid joining in. Within 30 seconds any pretense was always unnecessary. A hideous ecstasy of fear and vindictiveness, a desire to torture, to smash faces in with a sledgehammer, seemed to flow through the whole group of people like an electric current, turning one even against one's will into a grimacing, screaming lunatic. And yet the rage that one felt was an abstract, undirected emotion which could be switched from one object to another like the flame of a
I truly lucked out. When I got pregnant, I had to stop vaping for obvious reasons, but my nausea was so bad, I couldn't even be in the same room as vape juice without vomiting. Huge aversions. After I had my baby, I wanted dat nicotine again, but thankfully my aversions are still going strong. Been 3 years vape free.
Deplatforming myself off of most social media has given me a huge change in mood for the better. I'm pretty sure with the amount of vitriol that gets thrown around in social media, I would have gone mental after a while. I'm glad that I have given myself more opportunities to live in the moment of my life rather than deal with others judging me for superficial and wasteful added context.
Humanity has never experienced such constant negative reinforcement.
Truth. It's mostly low-quality information, incorrect information, and reposts of endless cycle of nonsense.
I clicked into this thread wondering what could top alcohol as the first done.
I ordered food from McDonald's and the cashier was like, "That monster isn't good for your heart." Oh, is it not? Am I not making healthy choices?